The one question. The one question that has eluded mankind for thousands of years. And I have the answer to it. I know. What kind of ego must I have to think that I, as a silly writer, could have the answer to a question that has evaded the whole of mankind? Okay, so maybe that's a bit much to say. Maybe I don't really have the ultimate answer to the ultimate question, but I'm going to try. And maybe, just maybe, the answer to this question, which I have yet to ask, is really only applicable to me. And maybe some of you out there. We'll find out. Let's see. Okay. If I may have a drum roll, please. The question is, what is the meaning of life? Crazy, right? Me? How in the hell am I supposed to have the answer to that question? Okay, let's bring this back down to a little more of a serious note here. Okay, the answer to that question. I have searched and searched and searched for the answer for years. I've dug as deep as I can into the muck and mire of my soul and my heart. I've done everything I could to find the answer, and I think I finally found it. Actually, I think I found it a while ago, but I'm only now sharing it. The answer to that question is very simple. It is to feel completely and compassionately and passionately. Think about it. The meaning of life is to feel. Now, I gotta also sort of relate that to my chosen career of writing, which I'll do somehow. I think that a lot of people wind up getting caught in this trap that the meaning of life is out there somewhere in the great beyond. Whether that be in the form of a God, in the form of a constant need to chase a dream, be it traveling, I've got to go somewhere, I've got to be another place. Maybe the answer to the question lies in the chasm that is the Grand Canyon, in the mysteries of the world. Or maybe it's right in here and up here. Let me digress or regress or egress or ingress just a moment for you. The last few years of my acting career, I spent with one of the biggest theater for young adults in the country, and that was Stage One. During my tenure there as a resident actor, I spent a lot of time playing little kids. Surprise, surprise, I'm only 5'4". Of course I'm going to play little kids. I also happen to look youthful. I'm older than I look. I'm not going to give you that number. Shame on you for wondering. While I was doing that, I managed to learn how to open my eyes as wide as a child. Think about it for just a second. Children don't get bored. I'm talking children, not teens, because teens live in a perpetual state of boredom. Children don't get bored. They open their eyes, they see what's around them, and then they open them a little wider and see everything around them as a child. And it's all new, and it's all delightful and joyous and exciting. And while I was performing at Stage One, performing all these roles as children, I learned how to do that again I learned how to look at life through the eyes of a child, and nothing was not precious. Every moment of life became something new and great and meaningful. And I was able to feel those moments with an energy and a youth that I had lost. And we all lose that at some point in our lives. We encase our hearts in the shell because we're afraid to get hurt. And we narrow our scope of vision because we're afraid we might see something that we can't understand. And when we do that, we can no longer feel. Or we can no longer feel to the capacity that the human creature is able to feel. So when all of a sudden my eyes were open wide and every day was Christmas, I was able to feel completely and compassionately and utterly and profoundly. And now, as a writer, I can step outside my house and walk no more than 10 or 20 yards, and everything comes to life. Just yesterday, I was out for a run, and I was running along this road, and this house had a fence, and on the fence there were a number of trees lined up against the fence, and on the trees ivy was growing. And as I ran past it, all of a sudden my mind said, oh my gosh, I bet you in the middle of the night those trees come alive, pull themselves away from that fence, and enjoy the world. And that's how I see everything. Everything around me has a story. And that's what it's like to open your eyes wide enough to see the world around you like a child. And then, and only then, can you answer the question, what is the meaning of life? It is to feel, really, deeply, profoundly feel. And that doesn't mean you have to constantly be pressed down with the agony and weight of life, because it's out there just waiting to put its bony finger on your temple and say, you are mine. That, my friends, is the meaning of life for me. As a person, as a human, as a writer, as an artist, as an actor, as a musician, every aspect of my life, as a husband, as a step-parent, as the owner of a small herd of cats, as a rocker of this hairdo. Think about it. Go away from this little video, look in the mirror, and say, self, what is the meaning of life? And just how deeply do I feel? Can you go outside and look around you and the world comes to life in a way that it never did without the help of illegal substances? Thank you very much. Anyway, some food for thought here on the Jack Verse. I hope that maybe this just might give you something to ponder. Until next time. Thanks for hanging out with me.